Hi everyone, yes, I am in an hoodie. It's starting to get really cold over here, as you guys probably know, or like if you've been on my sprints. Today we have Tiera from ABC's Aubrey Books and Coffee. Yes, Tiera is such a beautiful person. As soon as I met Tiera in apparently August last year, I knew that I wanted to get to know her a little bit more and definitely have her on Read the Beats. And so, yeah, I'm very excited. Y'all have to excuse me, I'm still kind of waking up. But I got the songs at like midnight last night, and I'm like, do I do a really late night filming? And I'm like, no, go to bed, get up, and then we'll film this. So let's see what Tiera has in store for us. I'm super excited. I honestly don't know what to expect, and I'm here for it. This is Tiera. Make sure you go out and check out Tiera's channel. I will link it down below as always. Very excited. I don't know what to expect. I'm really hoping for things that I can match with my kooky TBR or my expedition through pages TBR, which will end up being in my kooky TBR. So yeah, that's really all I'm hoping for at this point. So anything that I can read digitally. But let's get started.
Hello, Jessie. How are you doing? I have to first say thank you so much for asking me to do a collab with you on this. I have been a huge fan of your Read the Beats videos that you've been doing for a long time now, and I've been dying to be a part of that community. So thank you so much for asking me to do this. Now, there are 3 songs that I picked that I hope you'll like. I do have some strange taste sometimes that kind of runs the whole gamut from, rock to 80s music to...
Look, if you've seen any of my playlists, it goes from classical, like we're talking Beethoven and Tchaikovsky, to like Eminem, or Chantel introduced me to Creeper, and then I've got Disturbed, which is actually quite a few songs on there, and then I've got Eminem, and then I've got all of this kind of, like there's a little bit of country in there. So yeah, I have a very eclectic taste as well, so I think you'll be fine.
Love songs to 1950 songs, so kind of all over the place. But the first one I'm going to give to you is I Miss the Misery by Halestorm. This is actually a great, I think, fabulous breakup anthem.
I know the artist because I'm pretty sure Paige gave me Halestorm. Okay. So let's have a think about it. The first book that comes to mind, which absolutely does not fit anything in my TBR, is Misery by Stephen King, because the word misery is in the title. I don't have that on my TBR. I guess I could put it on my TBR. But breakup anthem. Do I have anything on my NetGalley shelf? I don't know. I have to have a look at that.
So if you have some heartbreak going on in your life, this is definitely the song for you. It never stops to bring a smile to my face and get my blood pumping. So I love that song. The second one I'm going to give to you is Love Me Like You Do by Ellie Goulding. This one, if
No. Oh, okay. There's one book / movie that came to mind. No. We're not doing that. No.
you've ever watched 50 Shades of Grey movie, it's actually inside of that movie as well. Yep. It is just a wonderful love song that has a really fun beat, and I just really, really like it. And I've always been a sucker for love, so that's why it made the list. The last one is my favorite, actually, that I'm going to give to you. Everybody knows this song.
Is this like your favorite? This is always no pressure.
And that's This Is Me by Keala Settle. I'm terrible with names, as you know.
Oh my God.
Beautiful person. And the way this song is sung, it just rips your heart out.
All the pressure. I haven't given this song to anyone yet. I actually thought about giving this to Tiera. Interesting. That would have been fun. We haven't had any songs where I'm like we give each other the same song. That could be a very interesting thing. So the first book I'm thinking of immediately is Erin Morgenstern's The Night Circus. But I've already read that and I don't really feel like doing a reread of that. This Is Me is very much a song of like empowerment and resilience are the two words that really come across when I think of that song. Yeah, I don't know what to choose for that. That's a lot of pressure because that is such a good song. I could do something with either multiple points of view, because there are like multiple people that are involved in, well, there's lots of people involved in the song. So I could do that, and there is something that is coming to mind for that. Because I'm pretty sure, and you say I'm looking over there. If anyone knows me, you already know what book I'm thinking of. I could do that. I could do that. Okay.
And it empowers you, and especially somebody who has always had body issues and has never quite felt like I fit into places. This song is an anthem all on its own. If you've ever watched The Greatest Showman, this was in that show. So hope you like these songs. Hope you find some great books to pair with them.
You fit in here. I don't think you don't fit in here, because you do. You're me people, my people. You know what I mean? You fit in. Don't worry.
And I can't wait to see your video.
Okay, so let's have a talk about these songs for Read the Beats. Now this is going to be a little bit of a weird one. Let's talk about Love Me Like You Do first, because I feel like that's going to be the easiest one. Romance was obviously going to be the genre. The first book that came to mind was 50 Shades, and I'm not rereading that. Nope. No. The second book that came to mind is actually a book that is coming out tomorrow, and it's called Call Girl Confidential by Blue-Eyed Kaylee Jane. Blue-Eyed Kayla Jade. Millions of followers, hundreds of clients, one hell of a story. And so this is a memoir of a sex-positive content creator. And I thought it would be really interesting. I haven't read a memoir by somebody that works in that industry before, and there's a lot of hype around it. So yeah, I would really like to get that. There's obviously quite a few people that are wanting it at the library and things like that already, even though it hasn't come out. So my next option for that is going to be First Time Caller by B.K. Borison, and I saw a lot of people kind of towards the end of last year reading this and said that it was pretty good. And so this is about like a radio host that's kind of fallen out of love and is kind of a bit, it says here on Goodreads, jaded, but he gets a phone call from a young girl that is asking for dating advice for her mum, whether that's true or not, and is actually dating advice for her, because she essentially is like someone with no love life, and people keep kind of pushing her to get a love life. And so apparently the interview goes viral, and both Aiden and his, I guess, talk show, which would be Heartstrings by the look of it, are kind of really put out there. And I thought it would be quite easy to read. I thought it would be quite nice, and then I looked at the pages being 448 on paperback. So it's quite chunky, but I thought maybe I could get the audio for it. So that's also on hold, but that says available soon. So it'll most likely be this one, but let's have a look. Now the next two songs, let's start with Halestorm's I Miss the Misery. It took me a little while to actually realize this in my brain until I was kind of thinking about what could possibly be the plot. And the book that I'm choosing for this, it actually has the word storm in the title, and it works because Halestorm. Storm, you get it. Now, I'm putting it together with This Is Me because this is technically a tandem read, and that is going to be Empire of Storms, Halestorm, and Tower of Dawn. Now I'm choosing these because both of them are multi-POV, and you know, with Halestorm, with any of the books in the Throne of Glass series, the shit kind of starts hitting the fan pretty quick. And I think it's just gonna like get even muddier for a little while. But the main character is very wild, and so is any of the Halestorm songs that I have listened to. Like, they're Milo. Hi, buddy. They're unhinged in the best way. So yeah, I think like the unhingedness of the song kind of matches the personality of the main character. One of the other characters in, I'm looking at the wrong camera. One of the other characters in, well, actually a couple of them, they're quite miserable and surly, and there's one in particular that I'm thinking of, and I think like his character kind of fits the title of the song. I miss the misery, because he keeps bringing up a certain situation, and like he's kind of adding to it by blaming the main character. And so that's where I'm going with Halestorm and Empire of Storms. Tower of Dawn, I could almost use them like as the same thing, because like with Empire of Storms, Tower of Dawn being a tandem read, like that's multiple in the same thing, and there are lots of people in This Is Me, especially with that song. It's great. Every time I listen to it I get the chills. And the song itself is quite motivational, and it says there's going to be a light at the end of the tunnel, and it kind of shows, you know, strength of character and saying, this is who I am, accept it. And so where I'm going with that is Tower of Dawn, dawn being like the light at the end of the tunnel, or maybe not quite. I don't know. With Sarah J. Maas, I don't know. But the title itself gives off like dawn as in being like things are starting to look up. Maybe they have a solid plan. I don't know. I haven't read it. And then you've got the multiple POVs, which will definitely be in there. And I think as we get closer to the end of the books, the main character may have realised who she is, and she may have accepted it, but 99% of the world doesn't even know who she is. Okay, so I started that one book, First Time Caller, for Love Me Like You Do by Ellie Goulding, and as much as that was like a really nice palette cleanser, it didn't really work for the book. And then my library hold started coming in, and guess what I got, which would work perfectly for this. Call Girl Confidential by Blue-Eyed Keala Jade. Now this is a TikTok person, and she works in the sex industry, and she's written a book. Since reaching wide success through OnlyFans, Blue-Eyed Keala Jade has become a viral sensation on social media, breaking the taboos of full-service sex work to a rapt, largely female audience. Her memoir charts the highs and lows and sexploits of her career, detailing her many adventures, including with those in the upper echelons of power and juggling steely ambitions with motherhood. Equal parts raw memoir, seductive romp, and eye-opening tell-all. Call Girl Confidential challenges assumptions about sex work through the tales of a trailblazer who has unapologetically claimed her worth, her pleasure, and her future. My God, that was really bad. I'm looking forward to this. I kind of saw quite a few people get PR boxes for it, and I just thought it was really interesting. I personally haven't seen her through TikTok or anything like that. I'm barely on TikTok, but there was something about it when I saw the PR boxes and I saw people getting excited about it. I was really, really interested in it. I think it's going to work perfectly for the song, because obviously there is something about the song where it's giving to somebody else taking control, and somebody else kind of telling you how fast, how slow, that kind of thing. And so, yeah, I think this would work a lot better because obviously her clients will be kind of setting the pace, if you will. So yeah, my plan is to read this today. It's really cold here. It's 9 degrees Celsius. We've obviously gone through a bit of a cold snap, but it's nice and sunny. It's very sunny. And yeah, I'm just going to sit here today under a blanket and read this with a nice hot cup of tea, which is actually incredibly hot and lovely. And yeah, I'm hoping to read all of this today because I've got so many other things that I have to read. I'm excited to get started, and I will probably check in with you about halfway and see what we think about it. I am about 50 pages into Call Girl Confidential by Blue-Eyed Keala Jade, and I am enjoying it so far. I'm thinking it's really interesting. I loved kind of like the backstory of how she met her husband and how her husband is actually really supportive of her career, and just how much of, like, at least at this point in the book, how much of a good mother she is, because she's describing like whatever she has to do, it needs to be done between the hours of like 9 till 3 or 10 till 3, because after that, you know, she needs time to beautify herself, I guess, I don't know. And then she's in like full on mum mode. She's like, I need to be a mum to these kids. So there's kind of a little bit of backstory about how she got into the work and things like that, and just how entrepreneurial she is as well, and making sure that she's learning from other people and kind of trying to match them or be a step above them. And I quite respect that, even though, you know, I wouldn't work in the sex industry myself. Like, I admire her drive and entrepreneurialness. There we go, that's a word. And I just got to the part where she had travelled to Turkey and got a Brazilian butt lift, because like over there it was way cheaper. I think she said it was 12 grand for flights, accommodation and the surgery, but it was botched. So she went in, like, even from arriving it was really weird, like getting picked up from the airport took ages, and then they went straight to the hospital but the doctor wasn't there, and then the doctor was like, oh no, I'm actually at the clinic, you need to drive to the clinic so we can have a consultation. And she was kind of like really sketched out and really scared. But the day of the surgery arrives and things like that, and the surgeon's like, well, you're not kind of fat enough all around, and so it probably won't work that well. And she's like, what? She made sure that she weighed enough, I guess, and she had, you know, the fat wherever it needed to be. And then, like, this is literally my worst nightmare. Ugh. She woke up during surgery and she couldn't speak. She was paralyzed, but she's like, I could feel like the searing pain in my stomach. I could feel the noise of the vacuums and the she could feel everything. She just couldn't speak. She was paralyzed. Ugh. I couldn't do that. And then she kind of fell unconscious again, and then she woke up and she was freaking out a bit, because you're not supposed to be lying on your back or anything like that, because if you're on your back or if you put any pressure on the site of the surgery site, then apparently the fat cells can die, which I thought was really interesting. Fast forward a year, and obviously the surgery didn't go to plan and she wasn't happy with the results. She went to a surgeon in Australia, and the surgeon was like, oh my gosh, the horror. And apparently the advertising that this Turkish place used was actually stolen from Australian sites. So she got a revision surgery, and that story is going to stick with me for a while, I think. But she's kind of just moved on from OnlyFans to actually meeting up with real clients at this point. And it's really fascinating because one of her clients, I don't know if this is like the real amount, but it says in here one of her clients was going to pay her $2,500 an hour, and they ended up parting ways at some point. But yeah, like wow, $2,500 an hour. And then like she's doing collabs with other OnlyFans creators, which was like how she started, was on OnlyFans. It's definitely under 300 pages. I think it's about 270 pages all up, so it shouldn't take me too long to read. So that whole thing of me trying to get this book done in one day didn't happen. But I'm about halfway through Call Girl Confidential, and I am still really enjoying it, but I do have one major gripe with it. Let's talk about the editing. First off, I think I said in the last update there was a couple of spots where the editing wasn't so great and some things needed to be worked around, things like that. But I'm finding overall as a book, this whole story is kind of all over the place. You're getting some memories from way back in the past, and then you're getting some other stories that just don't kind of match up with the one that's been told, or the one that kind of like comes after it, and it just like it doesn't have like a linear aspect to it. And while that can work for some books, I just don't think it works very well for this, and so it's bringing down the rating a bit. I am still really enjoying, like, fuck me, the amount of money that girl gets paid for one night, or like I think she does a minimum of 2 hours. So any of her bookings are like a minimum, and she charges an exorbitant amount for an hour. I'm pretty sure the minimum is 2 hours. And then like the overnight fee is even more astronomical. Like I couldn't even imagine spending that amount of money. Good on her for like bringing in the bank. She did kind of go into the aspect of the job that was not great, but it's kind of only just been touched upon. She's really mainly only told the good experiences, and maybe about 10 to 15% of the bad experiences. But like when she does explain the bad experiences, they're written like you almost feel like you're in the room, and it's like but yeah, I think either she's an exception to the rule, or so far we haven't exactly seen the full extent of her career, and I guess the consequences that it can hold. But yeah, man, good on her for the amount of money that she makes. Just editing wise, the book, I think maybe it would be better on audio. We'll see how we go. Finishing Call Girl Confidential quite a few days ago. It was really good, but there were a few little gripes, so just bear with me. What was good was she's a hell of an entrepreneur, and I think I said that in one of my catch-ups. And the stories she tells like are pretty incredible, and she doesn't hold back with the language either. So this book is definitely R18. For anyone that is 18 and older and is old enough to kind of understand what she's talking about and what's going on, definitely worth a listen to. And I like that she doesn't hold back, and it's really interesting to see, I guess, the financial side of it. Is really what interested me the most, more than the stories. And it worked perfectly for the song Love Me Like You Do by Ellie Goulding, because it was very much about letting somebody else take control, and that's what the song was about for me. And of course with her, like her clients are paying her to do what they want her to do. It worked really well for the song. I thought it was perfect, and rating wise I would probably give it a 3.5, not because of the story itself, not because of the memoir itself, but because of the editing and the formatting. There was just, and I had a look on Goodreads, and a few people kind of agree, the layout of it just didn't really make sense. Like there were stories that were told in kind of like no particular order, and then there were a few things with editing as well that meant some of it just didn't really make sense. So yeah, there were things that I think maybe needed to go through the editors a couple more times, and maybe just flip some stories around to make it like more of a linear timeline would have been nice, because there were like lots of flashback memories and stuff like that, and some of it you were like when is this happening? Because sometimes it mentions her being back in New Zealand, like before she even did any of this kind of stuff, and then it goes back to when she's flying all over the world. in full service mode and things like that. And yeah, there were things like that were just a bit jarring. So I think a couple more rounds of editing and it would have been even better. Like I said, I think the most interesting thing for me was the financial side of it and just how much money she does make. And I do want to preface that by saying that she does disclose that she essentially got into it right at the right time during COVID and with, you know, the right kind of smarts and the right marketing and the right way to go about things. And she is living her best life and her, well, he's not actually her partner anymore, but like they still have a really great relationship. And she's very much a family woman, very dedicated to her kids. It was good, but I think 3.5 is really the right way to go. So just a side note before I get into essentially the main chunk of this video with the reactions with the tandem read, you are going to see a lot of footage from our Massverse sprints, and so obviously I'll link Jen and I'll link Lexi down below, and you'll see some comments from some other people as well. I will try and link them below as well. We're going to be doing both songs essentially at the same time because with the tandem read you couldn't read the books separately, and I don't really think you can react to the books separately either. So we're going to be doing them together, and mainly all you're going to be seeing is the reactions and a bit of talking from sprints. Now obviously this isn't all the sprints. You can check all three of our channels for all of that, and you can check Jen's channel for the discussion. If you're playing along with Massverse and you're not up to this point, there will be spoilers. There's no way to get around that. I've tried to not include the really, really big spoilers, but there will inevitably be spoilers, so be warned about that. I am very interested to see where that prologue goes. I'm assuming we'll get kind of more from it. I've just met Erwin, and I'm like, he doesn't have the same.
Yes.
He doesn't have. He's not the king. I mean, he is.
I feel like the king really did it a lot better, you know?
Yes, but maybe he can redeem himself.
Maybe we'll get there. I will say in chapter 5, those men were pissing me off in chapter 5.
I will say, like, this is so far holding my attention a lot better than Queen of Shadows.
Yes, it is. For sure is. I'm not super far into Tower. I'm only on like page 6, but I'm really liking Empire so far. So then that makes me concerned that maybe I won't like Tower. Because I know people say like you really like one or not the other. I mean, it's still early in both, so maybe.
Yeah, I don't know how it's gonna go. Also, Denise is saying in Tower of Dawn we get a different map.
Yes, I just went to go look at that. I was very tempted when I saw that comment come in. I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna go open the book, but I was at work, so I couldn't do it. Anyways, the book's at home.
I haven't
a different map.
I haven't looked yet, but I'm excited to see. Although I'm hoping the difference in map doesn't spoil anything.
No.
I'm not liking Darrow. I think Darrow's a bit of a prick.
Yeah.
He's doing it like for like the interest of what he thinks is the kingdom and his interest and the interest of the lords, but like still he's an ass.
I think it's Angie. Yeah, it's Angie who posted a comment about this in the Discord under the tandem read one.
Okay.
You definitely don't have to read. It says like Empire 1 through 5 / Tower of Dawn. You definitely don't have to read like Tower of Dawn, that first chapter, to read her comment. Definitely intriguing. I will also say I responded to it, but I agree with Denise's theory about the like Nightfall prologue thing that we got.
That was a great theory.
That's also the same theory that I personally was kind of thinking of in the background.
Mm.
Because I was like, I just feel like she didn't just throw that in there to give us like a little bit of lore and not touch anything else.
But I am enjoying the fact that we're getting some lore.
I do enjoy the lore. I also enjoyed comparing our new map and tower to kind of what we talked about with during the discussion. Which I am like going on this whole, I want to go down this whole rabbit hole discussion with the map lining up between like this and Akatar, but like I don't want to spoil Akatar for myself, so I'm like, maybe we hold on that theory and not delve into it for 2 hours straight.
Don't delve into it, but like feel free to talk about the theory.
Yeah, I could see this potentially being like in the same universe.
Mm-hmm.
Almost wondering if like parts of the map are like mirror imaged. But we got a lot to look into in this tower book, because like this is a whole new map. Like we haven't even fully explored the map that we've been looking at.
No, we haven't.
This one has so much more stuff in it.
I also just came across the Captain Rolf thing as well, and I'm like, because I remember someone saying in the discussion, wondering whether like he was going to come back.
Yeah, if we were going to come back to anything with
any of those characters.
Yes, or like just
Deserted Lands.
Yeah,
that's very far. Like that's like southwest.
Yeah,
the ultimate southwest.
Like for you to be all up here over by Tiera, and then we're like going to go across the entire map.
So where is she at the moment? Like I know she's in, but she hasn't reached Orange at the moment.
No, so I assume she's a little bit further south than that. Because I know they were talking about these rivers, so I wonder if she's by that river that comes by that way.
Florine River, it looks like.
Yeah, I wonder if that's where she's in technically Tiera's land, because she's that big up there. So I'm wondering if she's just like a little bit south of the city. Also, there's like this little castle up there in the ruins of Morla. Like, can we go see by that little castle?
Oh,
there's a little castle up there.
There's a little castle up there.
Who's up there? Where's the castle?
Was this castle not mentioned just in the past few chapters?
Maybe it was.
Because the name rings a bell.
Yeah, can we go up there though? I want to see the castle. There's also a castle down in the deserted land.
There is too.
Yeah, that's where the assassins are, because that's further east on their little deserted land over there. Like, what's that castle for?
I cannot read the second castle in the deserted land. It looks like roll to me, but
yeah, I was thinking that's supposed to be like knoll, hole. I don't know.
But yeah, there's so many places on this map that are not being explored. And so I wonder, here we go. She was talking about Skull's Bay.
Yeah, where's that at?
That's the only thing here. So if you look at the screen line, it's going southeast.
Yeah, so either way, we're going all over the place, girl.
Yeah, but I can see like where the boats would be able to get there pretty quick.
Yeah.
So long as I don't get too much of the current, because going out to the ocean and going out to the sea, I would have thought the current would try and pull them more north.
I would think so too, but I mean, maybe run more south for them. Who knows?
But then also, look how close they are to Ellie.
I know.
And Nahinia's kingdom.
Which we haven't explored that either.
No, we haven't. And with Aelin trying to get, spoiler alert guys if you aren't after this, but with Aelin trying to get allies, Nahinia, like, surely Elway would side with
them.
With Aelin. I think Lexi, you're right. It's definitely started off quite quick. Like chapter 6 was like, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Chapter 6 was Hold My Beer.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I'm like 1 page into chapter 7 and I've got 6 pages left in that chapter.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things where it's like, all right, hold my beer while we get this started.
Yeah, a few neck cracks.
Yep.
It may be too early to actually say this out loud, but I feel like every book for me has started out really good, but this one is starting out good in a different way, and it's making me very excited about it.
Yeah, I said earlier, Empire, like the rest of them, kind of start off with like a little bit of a lull,
Mhm.
up. This one just gets right down to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're not messing around in this one.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
That's
liking
great.
this one so far.
I am doing the tandem. I'm struggling a little bit with the going back and forth, but like I guess it's just getting used to it.
Mm-hmm.
But I spent half that sprint looking at the map in here versus the map of the southern continent and Tower, because it's a whole new map.
Yes, I saw that.
And I'm like, okay.
Are you
Okay, I can
confirming
see-
your own theory or discrediting your own theory?
Well, I can see some similarities, but like it's making me ask questions like, one, how far apart is this timeline?
Yeah.
Because if it is the same map, then Highburn, which is this little island right here,
Mm-hmm.
it needs to break off from somewhere in here, because all of that is still attached in the Tower of Dawn, but the peninsula that's here is very similar.
Yeah.
The kind of top is very similar. But my other thing is we don't see, like, well, we do. We see a much bigger map in Tower of Dawn than what Caribbean really is. If we're looking at the landmarks, there is no way that it's the same kind of continent, whatever you want to call it, unless, like, geographically or climate change or something major happens to split up that continent. And so part of me is going back and forth, because there's also the Mortal Queens, and there's also like talk of it like another continent in Akita. And so my brain is going back and forth with that one. So like, I'm not discounting it and I'm not counting it at the same time. I'm just, yeah.
So map of Gwendolyn, though. I want to know what that like map actually looks like.
The whole map of Winland.
Yes.
So if Crescent City 3 is 60% Akatar characters, and we have this sort of theory that they're similar, like your map theory, then it makes me wonder, if we're running with that, it makes me wonder if 6 and 7 is the tie-in for the entire Massverse, and where we found out your questions about how the continent separated. That would be really cool for her to bring everything back full circle.
That would. That would be Stephen
yeah.
King's the bullshit, because he kind of does that kind of stuff with his works.
That would be epic, actually.
As far as I can see, there is not an entire map of Winland.
See? She's keeping it from us.
Yeah.
Kind of curious.
Because what I'm seeing is like a clear map. I don't know if I can share my screen.
Homegirl is a genius, man.
See if I can share that.
There. Here, I'll get rid of mine.
Can you see the fact that it is cut off?
On the left or the right? Where the ocean is?
Here.
Yeah.
I think it was cut off like that in Air of Fire, I think. I can't even find Air of Fire at the moment. Okay, I need to find that. Open your eyes, Jesse. No, we don't even get Winland and Air of Fire.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yes, so this is the map for the southern continent. Can you see, like up here, the peninsula is very similar.
Oh, it is.
It does.
Like, very similar. But I'm like, and also this area of mountain here is about the placement of under the mountain. But here's where I'm like back and forth. This would all need to be chopped off.
Yeah.
Because there is like a definitive, like, I don't know what you call it, land, like you can see where the land stops with Protein, and it's quite skinny.
Is that Dotted Line a river?
I think we borders.
Oh, okay. No.
But also look at these snails, aren't they cute? Shout out to the person in that photo.
Interesting.
So yeah, my theory is Highburn would need to be chopped off somewhere in here, but it would need to take some of the mountain with it. Some of the forest with it. Although I guess it could grow its own forest. Because, well, you're not going to see it, but what I'm looking at is this area here. This is also very, very, very similar to where the spring court is. Like, this would be the line of the mortal lands.
Yeah.
And then the spring court would be up here.
Okay.
And then there is Highburn would need to essentially be carved out a little bit because there's a little bit of forest in the summer court that kind of goes this way. Then you've got the autumn court, which has forest. Winter court, which has some forest. And then under the mountain. And if Highburn kind of got carved off, it would be very much kind of in the right area.
Yeah.
There's also the mountain range up here that could be part of the night court, or it could kind of be where the border is to the day court, because there's a lot of kind of spare land in the day court as well. It's a really fascinating theory.
I think I really like that theory has some merit to it. Like, I entertained it.
You're what? Sorry.
I'm here to entertain that kind of theory because, like, that is a very interesting theory. What do you think?
I have also seen on Instagram, and I haven't looked too closely because obviously we have our own breeding order. But I have seen on Instagram that there is a specific page order, like for the Massverse. And it starts with Throne to Glass, and then it goes to Avatar, and then it goes back to Throne to Glass. So
I need someone with their red string.
Yeah.
Out for me.
Yeah. We need the red strings and the blue strings and the green strings and all the strings.
I also need a giant map of everything, and I need to get the little push pins to just mark where you've been.
And that map needs to include Aurelia, needs to include Wendland. We need a complete map.
Yeah. We need it to be like super zoomed out so I can actually see everything.
I will say chapter 3 of Tower is drier than a glass of Chardonnay.
Oh my gosh.
Chardonnay is a dry wine, right? I don't drink wine.
I think so, yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I don't like dry wine.
But yeah, if anyone's a wine drinker, think of the driest wine you can. And chapter 3 is drier than that.
That's not good. I've been enjoying Tower of Dawn more. Oh, wow. Nice.
Interesting.
Yeah, I've been enjoying Empire more.
I've definitely been enjoying the Empire more.
Well, I should get to it next. Like, I'm on chapter 5, so I should get to it next. So I'll let you know what I think, too.
I mean, I guess Tower is good for the fact that we are seeing more Kale, and I think we're going to get some backstory.
Yes.
Some much needed backstory for a couple of characters. But
I would say chapter 5 is better than chapter 4, though.
did you guys see the picture I put on Discord about like the visual I get with Kale?
No.
No.
I put it in the tandem read.
There was nothing there.
Every single time I get Kale, this is who immediately comes into my head.
Oh, gosh. Now I need to look.
And so I always get so thrown off when they say he's 23.
He does seem like he would be like 30, 40.
Exactly. He acts it in the books.
Oh, that's funny.
So I get so thrown off when he's like 23. I'm like, what?
That's
No,
really
dude.
funny.
Because Tower is all about like Kale healing from the paralysis.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really liking the fact that Sarah's used like actual anatomical terms. But I do just want to fact check how long it's taken for Kale to get to the point where he's at seeing the healer and see whether that actually lines up with real anatomical, because they're talking about like atrophy and like the disuse of muscles and things like that, and I'm like, what is the actual timeline and does that match up? But I love the fact that they're talking about atrophy and essentially physiotherapy for his legs.
That's cool. I haven't gotten that far, obviously, but that's cool that she.
I have to say, whatever day I'm reading, pretty much from chapter 10 of Tower of Dawn, and I'm just about to finish chapter 15. So, yeah, day 5 and 6, it's like, I can't even describe how many times I've been like, I'm like, whoa. Yeah, wow. How did you go?
Good. I have 3 pages left in chapter 4 of Tower of Dawn.
Mm-hmm.
Like my heart was pounding for a little bit. When the healer was talking about Kale, but yeah. So after that, I'm just 3 pages left. I'll be on day 4.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the healer. She's back.
Who's
Assassin's
back?
Blade.
What was her
The
name?
healer. Irene.
I did talk about that, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
I forgot that was her name.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that makes me excited now.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, you'll really like chapter 4 onwards. Because there is a lot of her in these chapters.
Okay, so I don't want to spoil anything. Let me figure out the right way to say this. So in Assassin's Blade, she was feisty and sassy, but she's not here. She feels very meek and like.
I think she's just being. I think. Well, I mean, she is very she is very sassy. She opens up a wee bit, and she definitely doesn't treat Kale the nicest.
Sure. I'm sure. Just based on what I've read so far, that doesn't surprise me. But I feel well now that connection's made, I'm excited again.
Yeah. So I stupidly went out to go and peel potatoes because I didn't think anything was happening, and the biggest bomb drop just happened.
Oh gosh.
In chapter 17 of Empire.
Okay.
And ended on such a cliffhanger. I had to run back and show you guys my face.
I did.
And it was only like half of it.
Yeah. I did pick up and see that.
I stayed and listened for a little bit, and I'm like, am I safe to go back to the kitchen now?
That's so funny. You said chapter 17?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're on today's chapter then. Now.
Yeah, and I'm probably going to go past it.
Yeah.
It's like, there is some, like, it's a point in the book where, like, you just can't stop. Like, it's not a good stopping point.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh.
So
I
exciting.
almost cut my fingers.
Oh no.
Almost. Luckily, I have very good, like knife safety skills.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
That conversation about his mom made me weary too.
Mm.
Where where Nesrin found her in the garden by herself, and just his reaction to that, I'm like, something's, I don't know, it just made me weary a little bit.
Not quite right, yeah.
Watch him be possessed too. Everyone's possessed.
Well, that's what I was looking for. I'm like, are they going to get to
Yeah. Watch, he's also possessed or something.
I did not even think about that.
If it's not him, like, I'm thinking that, like, either one of the main family or someone in the court is. Because it's obvious that someone has infiltrated that particular court.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking hard for the mention of a black ring or a black collar. Or I'm even thinking outside the box, going a black necklace.
Watch, they're better at hiding it than the other ones were.
Right.
Exactly. That's why I'm like a black necklace.
Oh my gosh.
Or black earrings. You know, something subtle.
Yeah. And then Denise got to chapter 7 in Tower, and in the middle of chapter 12 in Empire, and chapter 11 at the end, What Do You Mean?
Wait, let me go read what happened at the end of 11.
I know, I don't remember what happened. Chapter 11.
I don't remember.
Empire chapter 11. It's 8.
Yeah, let me see where I'm at.
Oh, I understand. Yes.
I think I have an idea of what you're meaning.
Yes. It's
Oh, yes, Denise. Keep going, friend. If you can get...
Just keep going.
Yeah, keep going. Chapter 17 is your chapter.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was devastated when I read that.
I know, but then they made us wait.
Devastated.
That bomb's trying to be like, by the way, we'll revisit this in 5 chapters.
Right. And 5 chapters plus 6 of Tower of Dawn.
Yeah.
See you back in a few hours. Yeah. Oh, Denise.
We like really quickly go back to like chapter 39 with the big like lineage reveal.
Yeah, now that we're all past that.
Yeah, now that we're all past that, it's not the Dorian part that surprised me because like I assumed because like
Magic.
well, not because of magic, but because like Elena was like buried in the castle, right? Like that's where her tomb was.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
I mean, I just like
Why else would she be there, you know?
exactly. It just like 2 and 2 together for me, and the fact that she married what was it, Gavin?
Mm-hmm.
Who I'm pretty sure is his like. What surprises me is the fact that she's his grandma.
Yeah.
And that wasn't like centuries ago. I thought it was like quite a few centuries ago.
I can see that.
No, what really shocked me was Aelin.
I was going to ask you about that in the private chat because I even went back and I didn't see what you were talking about.
No, I'm sorry. I thought it was Aelin's mother. I got confused. See, this is the whole naming thing.
Well,
So it's
one's name being the same.
yeah.
It is a cool reveal.
That's what shocked me more than finding out Dorian was related to Elena. I mean, I wouldn't have done this if I didn't love SJM. But more importantly, it's how you guys are enjoying it.
Yeah.
For me.
Enjoying it.
You're
I'm
enjoying
having
it.
a great time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I like reread that part you were just talking about. So I was like,
That
I
was
think
funny.
we'll go back to that in Kingdom.
Yeah. Yeah. There is, yeah, there is no way that statement isn't going to bite her in the ass. So to wrap up this collage or montage of Empire of Storm's Tower of Dawn, I really enjoyed both of them, and both of them really worked for the song. The easy way to get out of it, like to get into that, is the fact that both of them were multi-POV, and Halestorm's I Miss the Misery is like a multi-person band, and then you've got This Is Me from the Greatest Showman soundtrack, and it's like multiple people singing it as well. Now, separately, I chose Empire of Storms for I Miss the Misery because Halestorm has Storm in the name of their band, and the title of the book has Storm in the title. And obviously I didn't realize this until I was kind of like reading it, but there was a lot of misery in it, and I don't want to spoil anything, but towards the end there is misery that happened, but it's like it was planned, if you know what I mean. There was a certain character that planned massive aspects of things. She planned a lot in advance, and she knew what was going to happen. She knew what was coming for her, and she knew that what was coming was going to be misery. And I wouldn't go so far as to say she misses the misery from her early days, but misery is definitely the word that I would put for this character at the end of the book. So that actually worked a lot better than I anticipated. Tower of Dawn for This Is Me. Tower of Dawn focused a lot on Kale, and Kale had quite a severe injury that he was working out with a healer. The book itself was very slow, very character driven, and I feel like Kale had to battle a lot of inner demons as well as some kind of remnants of other demons, and he started to kind of recognize who he was, and he was starting to kind of come into his own shell, and it was then that he kind of started to recover even a little bit, and the healer really worked him hard on getting down to the root of the problems, and so it worked for like the this is who I am, I guess, him accepting himself. But again, there was the multi-POV aspect of it where that worked as well. So as a tandem read, it was really good. Empire of Storms was incredibly fast. It's another way that you could connect the song with the book, is because like storms are like very fast and very destructive, and that's exactly what Empire of Storms was very fast, very destructive. So that's another way you could connect to that. And then Tower of Dawn was a lot slower and introspective, which you could connect to This Is Me. Even though This Is Me is a very epic song, it's very introspective, the song. So yeah, lots of really good stuff. I think separately I rated Tower of Dawn 4 because it was very slow, very slow. There were bits where it was exciting, but most of it was incredibly slow. Still enjoyable, Like, there were still a lot of good things about it, but it was very slow, especially next to Empire of Storms, which was chicken with your head cut off fast. So I gave Tower 4 stars and I gave Empire 4.75. And as a tandem read, I gave it a 4.5. I would not recommend reading these separately because there are aspects in both books that are kind of like referenced next to each other, and also with the pacing, you've got such fast pacing in Empire of Storms that it would be really disappointing reading Tower of Dawn. So I recommend the tandem read. It can be annoying to page flip and all of that kind of stuff, but if you can work it out and if you can bear with it, I highly recommend it. I didn't know that I was going to do the tandem read until it was essentially time to do the first switch, and then I tried it and I wasn't convinced for the first little while, but I'd already started, and yeah, by the time I was starting to question myself again, it was kind of too late. And then I really got into it. I really enjoyed the tandem read. There are resources to help you with what to read and when to switch and all of that kind of stuff. So it is doable. It's just, for my first tandem read, it was a little weird, but I got used to it. And it was a great time. So yeah, that was Read the Beats with Tiera. I really appreciate you guys watching. Have you read any of these books? Have you read First Time Caller, and do you think that actually would have worked for the song for Ellie Goulding? Because I did end up DNFing it, and I don't know, it didn't work while I was reading it. So I would love to know if it works better kind of later on. And then with the rest of the books, have you read them? If you've done the tandem read for Mass First, then let me know. Are you team tandem or are you team separate? And have you also read Call Girl Confidential, or will you read Call Girl Confidential? I think that is going to be a book all over Booktube and TikTok and all of that kind of stuff in the next few months. So it'd be fun to look out for that. All right, that is going to bring us to the end of our video for May. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.